What is happening in South Africa's political climate right now? It's a question on many minds as the nation prepares for its seventh democratic election since the end of apartheid. The African National Congress, or ANC, the party that has led South Africa for the past 30 years, is grappling with a decline in support. High unemployment, inequality, and corruption have left many citizens disillusioned and hungry for change. Meanwhile, opposition parties like the Democratic Alliance and the Economic Freedom Fighters are gaining traction, presenting new challenges to the ANC's majority rule. Adding a layer of complexity is the emergence of former President Jacob Zuma's party, the Umkhonto weSizwe, or MK, which is shaking up the political landscape and further threatening the ANC's support base. This political climate is a cauldron of uncertainty, marked by a desire for change and a quest for solutions to the country's pressing issues. The upcoming elections are a reflection of this climate, as South Africans weigh their options and consider whether the ANC's record of progress outweighs its shortcomings. To understand the current situation, we need to look at the key events leading up to this point. The political journey of South Africa has been marked by key events that have shaped the current scenario. Let's take a trip back in time to the end of apartheid. The year was 1994, a pivotal moment in South Africa's history that marked the dawn of democracy. The African National Congress, or ANC, rose to prominence, symbolizing hope and change for a nation grappling with the aftermath of racial segregation. Under the leadership of the iconic Nelson Mandela, South Africa embarked on an ambitious journey towards equality and justice. Progress was tangible, with land reforms and infrastructure development taking center stage. The ANC's reign seemed unshakable, a testament to their commitment to uplifting the lives of South Africans. However, as we moved into the new millennium, the ANC began facing its share of challenges. High unemployment rates, rampant inequality, and corruption started to tarnish the party's reputation. From the power cuts that sparked protests in Johannesburg to the state-owned energy firm Eskom's struggles to meet demand, the ANC's popularity waned. The year 2023 was particularly challenging. The public's frustration was evident, leading President Cyril Ramaphosa to acknowledge these issues and outline plans to tackle them, including importing electricity and increasing renewable energy production. However, these efforts seemed to fall short, as the ANC's support continued to dwindle. The year 2024 marked a turning point in South Africa's political landscape. The emergence of new political parties added a layer of complexity to the already tense situation. The Democratic Alliance and Economic Freedom Fighters started gaining traction, posing a significant challenge to the ANC's majority rule. Notably, former President Jacob Zuma's support for a new party, the Umkhonto weSizwe, or MK, caused a significant stir. The party's controversial manifesto, criticized for its extreme views, divided opinions. While some saw it as a serious contender attracting voters, others viewed it as a joke. Regardless of differing viewpoints, the MK's emergence posed a significant threat to the ANC's political dominance, especially in KwaZulu-Natal. As South Africa celebrated 30 years of democracy, President Ramaphosa lauded the ANC's achievements. Despite the ongoing challenges and the decline in support, Ramaphosa expressed optimism for the upcoming elections set for May 29th. However, the polls indicated a decline in ANC support to 40.2%. Revealing the tough challenge the party faces to retain its parliamentary majority. These events have set the stage for the current political showdown. President Ramaphosa recently lauded the ANC's record as South Africa celebrates 30 years of democracy. The African National Congress, or ANC, has been at the helm of South Africa's journey towards democracy since the end of apartheid. Over the past 3 decades, the party has overseen significant strides in various sectors. particularly land reform and infrastructure development. Land reform, a sensitive issue rooted in the country's history of racial segregation, has been a key focus of the ANC. The party's efforts to address historical land injustices have resulted in considerable progress, although the process is ongoing and not without its challenges. Alongside land reform, the ANC has made significant strides in infrastructure development. This can be seen in the construction and improvement of roads, schools, and hospitals across the country, contributing to the overall development of South Africa. However, the ANC's record is not without blemishes. The party has grappled with major issues such as high levels of unemployment, inequality, and corruption. The persistent energy crisis, marked by frequent power cuts, has also been a significant challenge, impacting both businesses and individuals' daily lives. Moreover, the party's handling of economic matters has been contentious. Despite some economic growth, many South Africans still face poverty, and the gap between the rich and the poor remains wide. This has led to growing dissatisfaction among the populace, with critics pointing to these economic struggles as evidence of the ANC's shortcomings. In addition, the ANC has had to contend with accusations of corruption, which have undoubtedly tarnished its image. These allegations, coupled with the perceived slow pace of progress in addressing social issues, have contributed to public disillusionment with the party. Despite these achievements, the ANC faces a decline in support. As the country gears up for the upcoming general elections, the ANC's popularity has been waning. This decline in support, as shown in recent polls, presents a significant challenge for the party's continued majority rule. It remains to be seen how the ANC will navigate these challenges as South Africa continues to build on its 30 years of democracy. While the ANC faces challenges, opposition parties are gaining traction. The South African political landscape is not a one-party show. As the sun rises and sets, so does the rise of opposition parties, each bringing their unique ideologies and promises to the table, aiming to influence the course of the nation's future. The Democratic Alliance, for instance, has been a formidable force, organizing protests against issues like the energy crisis caused by frequent power cuts. Their actions highlight the economic impact of these outages, with businesses suffering losses and individuals grappling with the challenges of daily life. Their dedication to addressing such pressing issues has resonated with many South Africans, leading to an increase in their support base. But they're not alone in this political arena. The Economic Freedom Fighters, another opposition party, are also making their mark. They're tackling issues like high unemployment rates, poor service delivery, and the need for further improvements in the lives of South Africans. Their bold stance and proactive approach have earned them a growing following among those seeking change. Then, there's the new kid on the block, the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, led by former President Jacob Zuma. Despite criticisms and doubts about its funding sources and extreme views, this party has managed to stir the pot, threatening the ruling ANC's support base, and adding another layer of complexity to the political landscape, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal. As we look at the diverse array of opposition parties, it's clear that they're not just spectators in this political game. They're active players, challenging the status quo and pushing for change. Each party, with its unique approach and agenda, is attracting a segment of the population, transforming the political landscape and posing new challenges for the ANC. These parties are not only gaining traction, but also, in many ways, shaping the narrative and setting the agenda for the future of South Africa. They're driving conversations, influencing public opinion, and challenging the ANC's long-standing dominance. So as we move forward, it's clear that the ANC is no longer the only star in the South African political galaxy. The rise of these opposition parties is not just a trend, but a significant shift in the political dynamics of the country. These parties are posing a significant challenge to the ANC's majority rule. The stage is set for an interesting, perhaps even historic election. Will the ANC continue to reign, or will the rise of opposition parties herald a new era? Only time will tell. Adding to the complexity of the political landscape is the emergence of a new party led by former President Zuma. The political climate of South Africa has been stirred by the formation of the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, known as the MK under the leadership of ex-President Jacob Zuma. This party's rise has sent shockwaves through the ruling African National Congress, threatening their stronghold on the South African political scene. The MK's manifesto is not without controversy. Accusations of extreme views and potential threats to the country's constitutional democracy have followed in its wake. This has divided the public opinion. Some view the party as a serious contender, a fresh voice in the political arena that has the potential to attract voters searching for change. Others, however, dismiss it as a political sideshow, a joke that should not be taken seriously. While the ANC has faced challenges from splinter groups in the past, the emergence of Zuma's MK is a different beast altogether. The party is not only attracting new supporters, but also causing defections within the ANC. This internal turmoil presents a significant threat to the ANC's rule, particularly as we approach the 2024 elections. Despite doubts about its funding sources and criticisms of its controversial manifesto, the MK is undeniably reshaping the political landscape. Its impact is particularly felt in KwaZulu-Natal, where its influence continues to grow. The upcoming elections are a turning point for South Africa. With the ANC's popularity waning due to ongoing issues like power cuts, high unemployment rates, and poor public service delivery, the stage is set for a political shakeup. The MK, with its controversial yet captivating approach, has the potential to cannibalize the ANC's votes. The upcoming elections are marked by uncertainty and a desire for change. As South Africa prepares to go to the polls, the political landscape is more complex than ever. Over the past 3 decades, the African National Congress, the ANC, has been the dominant force, steering the nation from the dark days of apartheid towards a promising future. However, their journey has been marred by challenges, from corruption to high unemployment, and their support has seen a significant decline. While the ANC grapples with these issues, opposition parties like the Democratic Alliance and Economic Freedom Fighters are steadily gaining traction. Their rise signals a shift in the political climate, a clear desire for change among the populace. It's a reflection of the growing discontent with the status quo, and a call for a more inclusive and responsive government. Adding another layer of complexity to this political mosaic is the emergence of the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, led by former President Jacob Zuma. Despite criticisms and doubts about its extreme views and funding sources, the party has managed to carve out a significant niche, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal. This development has only added to the ANC's concerns, with the potential of losing more support to this new contender. Looking ahead, the upcoming elections seem to be a litmus test for South Africa's democratic resilience. With the ANC's popularity waning, opposition parties gaining ground, and the wild card entry of Zuma's new party, the results are anything but predictable. However, one thing is certain: the people of South Africa are ready for change. They want a government that not only celebrates the past achievements, but also addresses the present challenges and future aspirations. The South African political landscape is in a state of flux, and the upcoming elections will be a crucial test of the country's democratic resilience. Before we end, let's quickly recap the key points we've discussed. We've delved into the current political climate in South Africa, marked by 30 years of democracy since the end of apartheid. President Ramaphosa celebrates the achievements under the ANC's leadership, highlighting progress in areas like land reform and infrastructure development. However, it's undeniable that challenges persist, with high unemployment, corruption, and inequality casting a shadow over these accomplishments. We've also traced a timeline of key events leading up to the upcoming general elections on May 29th. These will be the 7th democratic elections since '94, and they coincide with the nation's celebration of 30 years of freedom and democracy. The ANC, once the unrivaled political force, faces a significant challenge as it grapples with declining support, while opposition parties like the DA and EFF gain traction. Adding to the complexity is the rise of the controversial MK party, led by former President Zuma, which threatens to cannibalize ANC votes, especially in KwaZulu-Natal. As the world watches, South Africa stands at a crossroads, with its future political direction hanging in the balance.